My wife has been cheating since our 1-year anniversary. Me and my wife were married in August of 2019, things weren't easy, we fought a decent amount, but never to the point where I thought we were in danger of losing each other. We both had our struggles along the way. I had been in active recovery for a porn addiction for over 6 years while she was starting her therapy journey to address childhood incestuous abuse. I thought we were on the right track. When August 2020 came along, our relationship still had its rough spots, but it was the first year of marriage. It was supposed to be this hard right. I believed that even though we weren't where we were at least in a better spot than where we started. A couple weeks into August, my wife became more and more distant. She spent more and more time with her male friends from work. I began to have concerns, but every time I broached them with her, she would lay my fears to rest. You are the one who struggles with lust, not me. I am never one-on-one. I just make friends better with guys, etc. Despite my misgivings, I figured she was right. After all, I was the one who struggled with porn. I needed more boundaries than she did, right? We had had the talk early on in our marriage that we wanted to set the boundary of never being in a one-on-one setting with someone of the opposite sex. We wanted to be above reproach. While she did acknowledge this conversation, she didn't think it was necessary for her, that her struggles weren't with sex and I should be okay with her hanging out with male coworkers. After all, they are all Christian guys working at a Christian restaurant. What could happen? In mid-August we celebrate our anniversary. During this time we decided to go on a large group trip where we would rent an Airbnb in the Northern Peninsula. During this trip a lot of our closest friends came with, including the guy I would come to learn she was having an affair with. During the trip was when my suspicions really ramped up. She was very distant from me and spent more and more one-on-one time with this guy despite my misgivings. Things really came to a head when I came back one night and realized they were out alone in the lake swimming together. It had gotten to the point where even some of her other friends called her out on her behavior. Fast forward, on August 30th D-Day happened. I had been very suspicious by now, and every night when she came home the questions of "where have you been / who have you been with" would ensue. I didn't think she was having an affair, but I told her that I believe she was at risk for having an affair, that no one could spend this much one-on-one time in intimate settings with someone else and not develop feelings. Anyway, on the 30th we were leaving church and she was again acting very distant. I decided to ask her straight up, "Are you invested in this marriage?" That's when she replied, "We need to talk." She took me to a park and told me what has been happening. She told me it has been going on since the anniversary. She said she loves this guy and does not plan to stop seeing him. That was just about a month ago. During our few interactions since then she has made it very clear she does not want back in the marriage. Even if this guy wasn't in the picture, she told me that if our marriage wasn't already crumbling that she wouldn't have gone looking. My brain knows that is bogus, but my heart still thinks it is my fault. In the meantime she has continued to see this guy, post on Instagram about how much she loves him, and tell her friends about how I should have fought for her more. Something worth noting is that she is a manager at this Christian restaurant, and the guy is a new hire. Apparently her boss is aware and has chosen to forgive her, aka cover it up and go against all their values. I never thought I would get a divorce, but the choice is being made for me. Even if she did want to work on things, I'm not sure I could. I'm living with my parents right now, and this is all just too much sometimes. I still wear the ring, not ready to take it off. I know she doesn't, but still, there are times when I feel excited for the future, but other times when just doing basic tasks is too hard. I can't sleep, too many graphic dreams, and I'm just trying to get by. I do have things to keep me busy, and I do have a new job starting in October which will be helpful, but that is where I am at. I found it difficult to find people who can relate. I am thankful for this community. Update: going to see a lawyer on Tuesday, says it should be a simple process from a logistical standpoint at least. I have gone back to seeing my therapist once a week. He is a counselor who is Christian but not a Christian counselor, aka doesn't answer everything with "just pray about it" or "God works in mysterious ways" or any of that BS. We'll bring that stuff into the session if I ask him to, but not uninvited. The restaurant she works at is Chick-fil-A. She always talked about how their Christian values set them apart from other places. Update: I don't know what the proper format is for posting updates, so someone feel free to correct me if I am doing it wrong. I found out that she has been telling people that the reason we are separated is because I was abusive. I talked with my lawyer and he said the only way that would hurt me is if she filed for a PPO. And the only way she could do that is if she had concrete evidence. That means no going to her work, contacting her, etc. Yesterday I got the ring back, which was really difficult. My lawyer will send her documents to sign, and if she doesn't contest anything, we can move forward with scheduling a hearing, which is about a 2-month waiting period. Update, a little bit of context. She had locked herself out of the apartment. We are separated, living in different places. But she texted asking for my key to get in, said she was using the landlord's copy, needed mine. I haven't given it back. One last little fuck you, I suppose. Or maybe that is the last thing I'm holding on to, like if I surrender that I'm surrendering the relationship. She's paranoid by her own admission, terrified I'll break into the house. She told me she was buying a gun. I've never been violent with her, never laid a hand on her, and I've assured her numerous times that I wouldn't resort to violence. That being said, the idea of her being afraid, albeit misplaced fear, feels good, knowing that Snce knows I have access to her house if I really wanted to, that I still have a way in. I'm choosing to hold on to that, to nurse that. Maybe I just don't want to let her go all the way. Maybe I still love her. I know that's wrong, but I felt so powerless the entire relationship, so yeah, that's where I'm at. The more I think about it, look into it, the more fucked up I realize it is. Today's journal was longer than normal, with the hearing coming up. Even though I know she is a narcissist and this is the best move, it's still hard and hitting me. Here we are friends, didn't edit it or try to organize my thoughts, but this is where I'm at today. These are the days when it is the worst, when I am at work and there is literally nothing to do but research and file, the time I have to think. These are the times when I would normally text my wife, text her telling her how bored I was, casual shit, what ya up to, how's work, anything new, blah blah blah. I miss that, the regular stuff, the day-to-day stuff. I forgot how lonely it is to be single. There, I said it. I'm single 31 days until the court date and I am scared. I am really freaking scared. Talked to Scott about the key, explained that all behavior has a function. This is the only thing I have control over. It makes sense. I never had control during the marriage. I don't have control during the divorce. Handing over the key is giving it up. 100% giving up. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to work. I'm struggling, really struggling. Having trouble finding something to look forward to. I don't know if I'll come back from this. Scott told me to reclaim my past, reclaim my reality, not wait for someone else to validate my experience. That's really the reason I'm writing the letter, to get acknowledgement from her, for her to give me permission to have my reality. I don't let myself have it if it can't be justified or validated by someone else. I'm a roller coaster. I'm in a glass box of emotion. I'm insane. The silence, as long as something is going on at every moment of the day, then the pain is manageable. I'm not busy. I'm with my thoughts, with my brain. I hate my brain. I feel between a rock and a hard place. I've begun to really dig into the research. Right now I have over 26 peer-reviewed articles related to narcissism, childhood sexual abuse and its relation to infidelity, attachment styles, and infidelity in the first year of marriage. Sexual abuse leading to narcissism and infidelity, long-term impact of betrayal trauma, characteristics of cheaters, are cheaters hypocrites, characteristics of people most likely to be cheated on, etc. Maybe one day I'll make sense of this. Maybe this will be the biggest fucking research paper I've ever done. Maybe I will be able to conclusively come away from this experience and say, this is why it happened. I'm going to try and perform an autopsy on the corpse that is our marriage. I won't lie. My intention is definitely to point out her faults, to unequivocally convince the jury of my innocence and her role in disintegrating our marriage. I'm heated. As I cool down, the hope is that I will be able to better look at my stuff too. BC, it's there, as much as I hate to admit it, it is. I think the main reason I feel a need to prove the pain is because she has yet to truly validate it. I have not had a single conversation with her where she did not attempt to explain away, gaslight, justify, twist the truth, displace, or rewrite the narrative. I've been on lawyer mode, on a witness stand. I spent all of last year being cross-examined, and even though we have cut off contact, she is still a leech in my mind. I find myself doubting the institution of marriage, doubting values that I've held just as fundamental truths for so long. I don't see the point in waiting until marriage. I don't see the point in taking the step. I don't see the point in taking the risk. Maybe I do, but the risk and potential for failure is too great. I was certain, fucking certain she was the one. I thought I had dodged a bullet with my last fiancé. Maybe I just traded a raw onion for rat poison. One is gross, the other one kills you. Who knows? That one could have been worse, probably would have been, but the point is my judgment is fucked. How can I be certain of anything when the thing I was 1000% sure about is a lie? My mom asked me if I ever saw myself getting married again. Moving on. Right after she asked, she realized it was too soon for the question. Don't get me wrong, it definitely was. I'm not ready to remotely consider moving on, but if I had to answer now I would say no, 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 I am not getting married again. What am I gonna tell everyone? Hey guys, welcome back. This has been hell. This has been the worst. Being in a situation where there is even a risk of this happening again seems unfathomable. It's like having an explosive strapped to my chest. Even if there was only a 10% chance of it going off, there is still a chance. I wasted a fucking baller wedding on her. It's supposed to be a one and done thing. No, right now, I don't think I'm meant for marriage. I was certain. My certainty is shaky. My certainty is unreliable. My certainty is nothing more than I guess. I'm certain of nothing. I'll never be certain of another woman. Marriage doesn't require certainty. It requires faith and trust. Yeah, I fucking know. But I believed in us and trusted her so much that it surmounted to something equivalent of certainty in my mind. I trust too much.